There we go, Kim.
Lime vibe, come let me lime, come let me vibe.
Good night and welcome once again to another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yori Kemp, here with my beautiful co-host, Miss Kimberly Ron Calawan from Trinidad and Tobago. I am from Nassau, Bahamas, as you would know, and I just want to welcome you tonight for another LimeVibe Live podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube video, please. Please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube videos, please. It really helps us out a lot and helps us to spread the message out. So, and also there's a donate link as well in the description. So please go to the donate link and donate any amount that you want. It could be 50 cents, it could be $50, it could be $500. You could donate anything. It really helps us to keep the message going on about our efforts in the Caribbean. So Kim, how's things going in Trinidad and Tobago?
Hey Yori, it's all right. It's very rainy. We have tropical waves back to back since Saturday morning. It's been flooded in a lot of parts of southern Trinidad, southern and central Trinidad. It's the start of the rainy season, and we're experiencing such heavy floods.
Is it high water?
It is high. It has caused damage. A lot of places were unable to pass, and businesses were closed today. Because it was too dangerous to pass. Some of the waters overflowing from the rivers were rather turbulent, and they cautioned drivers and commuters not to pass through because it could lead to pulling into the rivers and things like that.
Oh, wow. The same thing happened on one of our islands today, Exuma as well. Exuma had massive flooding today, where the Prime Minister had to fly out to the island along with a team of cabinet colleagues and some Ministry of Works personnel and some emergency personnel as well to help secure the island. It was only on the northwestern side of the island, but apparently what I've been told today was that that northwestern side of Exuma always floods every time around the same year. And they're supposed to fix the flooding years ago. So what they've had to do is they've had to open up one of the canal points, and they had to actually let some of the water from one of the ponds flow into the canal out to the ocean so they could release some of the pressure off the mainland. So yeah, that's what they've had to do today. So, but no one's been injured, no real property loss. No property damage. Of course, people couldn't travel. They couldn't go up and down to work. Otherwise, everybody's okay. And they expect the water to recede sometime this evening or tomorrow morning. So yeah, I guess it's the flooding season for the Caribbean, isn't it, though, Kim?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's early in the season, and what this says that the local government has not done its preparation. The Ministry of Works has not done its part when it comes to dredging the rivers, because they had the entire dry season to clear out most of the debris and this settled sediment on riverbeds. And that would have prevented the overflow from our drains. And even though we had torrential rainfall, it should have been able to flow a little better.
Yeah. Why does it shock them every time that the rainy season comes along and that they have flooding? I mean, there's flooding every year in certain parts of the country.
Yeah, but you need to prepare. And this is it. We have not been seeing, it's actually only last week where I live, I only saw they started bringing the excavators to clear rivers, but it's rainy season. And now that same dirt and same debris that you pulled out is going to wash back into the rivers and cause the flooding that's occurring right now.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It seems like we're such a reactive set of people in the Caribbean, right? We wait for things.
It is really sad. I mean, I'm not sure because of what's happened with the local government constitutional reform, if that stopped progress of works. But some of the works, it's the main roads that the government Ministry of Works and Transport is in charge of. And they were supposed to have done it, but to the extent I've seen it, especially after the floods that we experienced last November, I thought more would have been done.
Yeah. They just wait till the last minute, then they end up not doing it. They end up spending the money on something else. That's how it goes with some of these government ministries, And then they keep putting out fires instead of making a complete resolute move to fix one issue. They continually put out fires. They've put out fires and they put out fires, and then next thing the money is spent from the budget, and next thing the rainy season comes along, like how it is this year, and you don't have money to do what you were supposed to have done months ago. And so now it's in a mess right now. That's how it goes. I'm glad. It's glad to know that other Caribbean countries are suffering with the same kind of things that we're suffering with, right?
It's really, it shows our backwardness. I'm sorry to say.
Exactly. I just love the fact I'm hearing that from you guys, and you guys are suffering just like how we're suffering with the same kind of foolishness.
It's Sunday afternoon. People should be relaxing. Well, actually, it's CXC exams ongoing, right? We have CSEC exams ongoing. And a lot of schools, students were not able to go to attend for their exams
Wow.
because of how the floods affected them. I saw on the news that one person was volunteered his van and his truck, because it's a higher vehicle, to transport the students from their homes to the schools so they can write their exams.
Oh,
And
wow.
there was one report that there was low student turnout for the examinations because students were unable to come because of the floods.
Wow. That sounds like the same thing happened in the Bahamas today in Exuma. The schools were closed on the island. And so kids couldn't get to school. And
And
that's just what it is.
We saw MPs having to come out, the disaster management units coming out with mattresses to help people because they don't have somewhere dry to sleep.
Mm.
The shelters had to be open. It's already open. You swear that a storm came and hit us.
Yeah, probably did, you just didn't realize. They just didn't calculate it, and the flooding is getting more severe as the years go on, Kim. I mean, I can imagine the water's probably waist high deep, right?
It was really high, yeah. I would say the thunder we experienced over the last 2 days was really scary. I have never experienced thunder that frequent for almost 12 hours.
You
It
say
was
thunder?
thunder and lightning.
Thunder and lightning. Thunder and lightning.
Yeah, it was that said, it was really stormy, and to be hearing it like that, well, if it's kind of like a hill and valley in between, so you're hearing thunder echoing through the hills and valleys, and it was like, wow, just one after the other, and right through the entire night.
Yeah, we would say thunder and lightning, not lightning. Thunder and lightning. Usually, Bishop Rose said thunder and lightning. Oh, check out lightning, thunder and lightning. You can't take our accents from us, Kim. We all say thunder. Every Caribbean island does
lightning.
Yeah, we all say thunder. Every Caribbean island says thunder. They don't use the TH. They all say thunder. The thunder.
Well, to me, I say thunder. The TH is really silent. Thunder. To me, I'm saying it. I know I'm saying the TH. At least I think so.
I'm probably the only classy person in the Caribbean that says thunder. I'm probably the only classic person in the Caribbean that says thunder. I say thunder.
Thunder. You okay? Well, let's say it like
the thunder.
Lightning. But yeah, the rivers were really high. When I came down the highway yesterday evening, I saw that the one of the main rivers passing by the refinery was just below the bridge. It's like, wow, that shows the amount of rainfall we actually had as well. A lot of roads were washed away, bridges were pushed aside, things like that.
Anybody hurt?
No reports so far.
That's good.
That's one good thing. We're counting our blessings in that way.
That's always a good thing. So I guess no linemen tonight in Trinidad.
Oh, people lime no matter what.
Oh Lord Jesus.
You're gonna keep warm by your next door neighbor cooking up a pot of fish broth or something like that, right?
Oh my goodness. They're gonna party, right?
Communities come together and rally around each other, especially during these times. You'd see villages coming together to cook food for one another and help out.
That's good.
No one is starving. Someone always has something hot to eat. So if your stove and your refrigerator got damaged in floodwaters, you can count on someone nearby to help you out.
Give you a pot. That's good. That's good. That's what neighbors are for. That's what community is about, man. That's what neighbors and citizens are for, man. I like to see people. If it wasn't for these tragedies, we wouldn't see the best out of our brothers and sisters, because we see them on the job and we see them in school and we see them in the grocery store every day. And they're not their real true self. That's the mask they put on to try to get along with people in the rest of the day, throughout the day. But really and truly, when the chips are down, I think most people are prepared to be decent when the chips are down.
I would hope so. I mean, that's human nature. We won't want to be caught in a predicament like that ourselves. So it would be best that we, assist, be our brother's keeper.
Exactly. I believe most people are decent. That doesn't mean don't keep your guard up though, but I believe most people are decent, man.
We're talking about being a brother's keeper. We're seeing the CARICOM meeting with Haiti and claiming that they are trying to be their show that brotherly love to Haiti with the 3-member committee that was appointed by CARICOM. Yes. They met yesterday in Jamaica. It's actually a 3-day event that they're having, but yesterday was the official opening where they made several statements.
Yes. hopefully it'll get better as it goes on, because the opening statements were just glib and empty. Prime Minister Davis from the Bahamas said that we need to find solutions for Haiti. Of course, we need to find solutions for Haiti. Of course. I mean, duh. That's why you're here. You are here to find solutions for Haiti. What are your solutions, Mr. Davis?
A solution. He says a solution can be found. The task is very extremely difficult addressing these issues, and we need to have. He said that we need to hold an open mind, and while we might have our own ideas, it may not be perfect. But we do have to listen, have empathy, and compromise along this path. That's the words of your Prime Minister, Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis.
That's nice. That's nice. It's very nice. That's very nice.
I know where you're coming from, Yori.
That's nice. That's nice. No, because anyway, I wouldn't go there anymore, right? But Prime Minister Holness wasn't that much better either, because he reiterated what Kamala Harris said. VP Kamala Harris said when she was here in the Bahamas last week, when she said that she's going to support a stand-up security force for Haiti, and he's saying the same thing. We need a security force for Haiti. I mean, we know it already. So what are you going to hide? What's the first steps of getting it done? Are you going to get 20 men from Barbados, 20 men from Trinidad, 20 men from Jamaica? You're going to get this force together. You're going to handpick these leaders and these generals. What are you going to do? What's the next step? That's what we're here for. What's the next step? These are our leaders, Kim. These are our leaders. We pay them to fix these solutions and these problems. So what are they going to do? Except for just talk about the matter all day, all night. They're going to talk about the matter ad nauseum. What are you going to do about it, man?
I mean, it comes after that I think they had done a visit back in February. Yes. I know Prime Minister Holness had spoken a bit about that. And we were expecting a lot more from that visit, because it came after their meeting in the Bahamas earlier in the month as well. Mm-hmm. And really, he's saying that, we need to widen the political consensus for elections. That's what Holness is saying, Prime Minister Holness. And we need to lead. They're speaking about Haitian-led solutions. Yeah. You all are there to support. I heard Bruce Goulding, former Prime Minister Bruce Goulding, he spoke about that. He's saying, and honestly, I like it in the sense that I'm seeing it as a CARICOM-led initiative. It's not a US-based solution, but yet I know you're alluding to it, coming on the heels of VP Kamala Harris, her presence there.
Yeah. But the thing is, someone needs to take charge, man, because if the Haitians could solve that problem, it would have been solved by now. Do you think Prime Minister Ariel Henry wants to be a failure the way he is? Of course he doesn't want to be. Of course he wants a functioning government in Haiti. I mean, to make himself look good, unless he's a total psychopath. And then if he's a total psychopath, then we have a real problem. Then we have to have another set of conversations. But otherwise than that, I believe that everyone wants the best for Haiti. All right. So my thing is, right, if you're not there to talk about solutions, if you're going to keep on rehashing the same problem over and over and over again, if no one's going to actually take the first step and make some bold moves and make some bold steps, then what are we doing? And we're wasting our time again. They're just paying for these trips to Jamaica back and forth and all these other exotic Caribbean islands just to talk about Haiti all over again. They're not going to get anything done, Kim. They're just going to wait until November when Haitians are supposed to have elections and then they actually solve their own problems. If they could solve their own problems, they would have done so. And I don't believe that a Haitian solution is possible. I just don't believe that Ariel Henry, the Prime Minister, could actually bring forward a Haitian solution. I don't believe he could, because Haiti would not be in the situation the way it was after Jovenel Moise, the former president, was assassinated. It wouldn't have descended to this level. If he had any kind of solution, any kind of way to fix Haiti and keep it secure and actually govern responsibly and carefully. So there can't be a Haitian solution. There cannot be. They don't have one. They need help.
They do need help. Is the pathway for help. Now, I was listening to former Prime Minister Bruce Goulding speak, right? He's saying, to me, everything he was saying was sounding good in the sense that they need to have a pathway for restoration towards law and order. And they need to put in laws, that are ruled. They need to change the legislation that allows for free and fair elections. Mm-hmm. And, no matter the economic status of anyone in the country, they are able to vote, Yes, and he's saying that they need to establish a free judiciary. So they're saying all the right things that need to be done. However, he said something. He said, no one can do this but the Haitian people.
Oh, Lord.
We are there to just lead, guide, support. He said, once there is a will, any spanner, we could find any spanner to fit any knot. That's what he said. He likened the whole situation to that. Once there is a will, we are able to fix it. He said, CARICOM is there to just lend support. You're going in there. I mean, you're talking about the legislation that needs changing. You're talking about the judiciary and things like that. Making a pathway for constitutional reform, making a pathway for restoration of law and order. How are you going to do that?
Exactly. That's my point, Kim. How are you going to do it? You're talking about a pathway. What is the pathway, Mr. Golding? What is the pathway? I mean, I don't want to be really critical, you know. I know it's a difficult thing, but what is the pathway? That's what you're there for. You are the senior statesman. And that's why I had hopes for this three-man team of Prime Minister Christie, former Prime Minister Christie from the Bahamas, former Prime Minister Anthony from St. Lucia, and former Prime Minister Golding from Jamaica. That's why I have hope for them. It's their job to go in there and actually put these things in place and actually lead the administration.
Exactly. So I was really hoping a little more hands-on. Okay, you set up a committee. They come in with governance. They come in, okay, well, this is how you start up a country. Exactly. Basically, that's what you're doing. You're reprogramming an entire nation.
Exactly. And these three men, they have the expertise. They know exactly what to do. They know exactly what to do. So go and get it done, man. Go and get it done.
Not sure why is it we can't do that? Is it something that is wrong? Are you afraid that you're going to be reproached by the Haitian people for stepping in? They need bold strategic measures that can take force and take hold of your entire country, take control of your law enforcement agencies. That's what Haiti needs right now.
Exactly. And they have a blank slate to go get it done. I thought you nearly said balls, but you said bold. But if you would have said balls, it would have been the right thing. They need balls. They need balls to go get it done. I mean, the Haitians can't solve the problem. Oh, yeah, well, I'll say it. The Haitians can't solve their own problem, man. That's the problem. Haitians can't solve their problem.
We owe Haiti so much. Haiti was the free Black nation of our entire region, the first free Black republic of the Caribbean, of Latin America. It paved the way. But 200 years now, you know, things have changed and it needs support. Exactly. It is part of our region. What are we doing to really keep and help our sister nation, Haiti?
Exactly. We need to come in and we need to support. We need to give them leadership. We need to come in right at the time. I mean, there's an intervention that's needed. You know,
it's constitutional and institutional. Those were the key words that struck my attention when I was taking in the former Prime Minister Bruce Golding. He said constitutional and institutional reform is what is needed.
Yes.
But who's going to do that? And you've got to do that. That's where you need to step in.
That's why they're there. That's why they're there. And I hope they could get it done. And let's hope we can nudge them in the right direction to go get it done. You know, I believe that's what they're there.
I think it's the time is over that we need to stop playing patty cake, to say it in a nice way, patty cake with it. You need to take it by the bull's horns and grab it and take control. This is what you're there. I don't understand why is it we tend to be very timid when it comes to assisting. This is what you're seeing, what's happening with the country. Take control constitutionally, take control legislatively, take control with the judiciary as well. All the arms of governance that a country needs to bring stability and order.
It's not as if you don't have a blank slate. I mean, Haiti is a blank slate. You could go out in the history books, as someone who put Haiti on the right path, if you take the right steps and the right forceful steps. But no, everyone keeps vacillating. Now they have Obe over them, man. Oops, did I say the old word Obe? Is the Obe over them? Obe has tongue tied.
What they said is that they wanted to engage the Haitian diaspora, particularly from America and Canada. They say they are the ones that have a heart for Haiti. They still think about Haiti. Yes, I get that. What they ought to be, the diaspora that you're targeting needs to be the academic ones that will come in and really want to help rebuild your country. That's the kind of diaspora you need to target if you really want to bring about change. If you're not willing to do it, but you want the Haitian people to do it themselves, these are the kinds of people you need to target. The intellectuals, the academics, the professionals that will make a difference, that will bring change in governance in your law enforcement, in your health, in your educational system, everything, finances, most importantly, finances, to
At
rebuild
least
an
help to
entire
organize.
nation.
At least help to organize, help to organize people, because I know for a fact, former Prime Minister Christie, he's good at stakeholder meetings. He's good at bringing people together at the table to sit down and talk. He's good at that. I mean, that was his strong point, bringing these stakeholder groups together to talk and get these things done, hash things out between people. He was good at that. So he could use his skills in that particular vein and bring people to the table to sit down and talk about what needs to happen for Haiti. And he can do that. And of course, Bruce Golding, he has the administrative skills, he has the intelligence, and he has the forceful nature, and he sees things in the long term. Of course, Kenny Anthony, he has the experience, the long-term experience from running a country that is almost similar to Haiti, because St. Lucia was a former French colony, wasn't it, right? Before the British took it over, and they still have the same kind of before they turned over to the common law system, they still have the same kind of civil law jurisdiction. And he could actually bring some expertise and some skill and how to actually craft laws for a civil jurisdiction like Haiti. So yes, I mean, these are the three best men that you could possibly find in the Caribbean to get it done. The time is right to do it, and they can get it done.
I believe so. It's about time that we stop being so patty cakeish when it comes to doing things. We don't. I don't know if we're afraid to step on each other's toes, and if they think it's borderline on some kind of dictatorship, but you're stepping into a situation that is dire.
Trust me, and they're so full of themselves. They're so full of themselves. They believe they're going to be seen as dictators, and people are going to take over the country. Trust me, no one's going to let you do that. They're going to let you help. No one's going to let you do that. They killed their own president. You think they're going to let you stand and be a dictator for life in Haiti? You got to be out of your mind. They think so much of themselves, Kim. These are some narcissistic, egotistical, I don't know. Like, you think that they're going to let you stay there forever? Go there and help and set things right and get out of the way. And they're going to put you out of the way anyway after you've already helped. But they can't help themselves, man. Yeah, exactly. Stop thinking so much of yourself. Stop thinking so much of yourself. It's not about you. It's about helping Haiti. It's not about you.
So I think it's about time they get their act together, come together, really do it. Pull that entire country together, pull its economy together, get it on a track, and then step away. You can guide them. There's a way that we win it. I mean, when we look at America's approach to war, and when it's, countries like Afghanistan, what they went in and do, and then you saw how they pulled away. We're not asking for something like that, that dependent in a way. We're asking you to assist.
It wouldn't be like that anyway. And I'm glad you mentioned the United States, because people have this thing that the United States just up and became the United States in 2001, 2002. No, the founding fathers of the United States, they would have the same struggles that Haiti is going through right now. Who is going to lead? Who is going to be the president forever? Who is going to be the president for now? How are we going to set up the Constitution? How are we going to set up these laws and govern these colonies? They went through the same situation. And so America wasn't built overnight, and Haiti's not going to be built overnight. You have to actually set the foundation and the seeds that's going to build for a better state moving forward. Let's read the American history. The American, not the Civil War, the American War for Revolutionary War, and how they set up a government, how George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, they set up a damn country, man. And just read your history books, for Christ's sake. It's been done before. But they're so full of themselves. They're so full of their law and their law books, what they've read. Mr. So-and-so. But just read some history, man. You use your brain for something else other than your own egotistical, narcissistic self. You think they're going to let you be the prime minister forever in Haiti? You think they're going to let you be a dictator for life in Haiti? For life in Haiti? The United States wouldn't even allow that. And they don't even care about Haiti. So can you imagine? So get off of yourself, man. Do a good job, please. And they could do a good job, Kim. They could do a good job in Haiti. They can actually help. They can help. I believe they can help.
For sure.
I wish one of them actually steps forward. I wish one of them actually steps forward out of that three-man pack and actually says, I'm going to be the leader of this three-man team here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to consult with you guys. But hey, this is what we're going to do moving forward. That's what it needs right now. It needs a man, Kim. It needs a man with balls.
I heard that Dr. Kenny Anthony is the one that's leading the three-man chair. He's the leader of the entire thing. What was being said, I think CARICOM really needs to come and show some fortitude here.
Yeah.
CARICOM really needs to come and show, hey, we can handle our own affairs. We can handle our brother. We can really be our brother's keeper here. We can
Now you're seeing our leaders being exposed, right? You see all that talk they had in the first stakeholders meeting they had yesterday. You hear how empty some of that stuff sounded. I mean, Prime Minister Holden's men repeat the same thing Kamala Harris said a week ago, and they've repeated from February. I mean, have a security force, and hey, we're going to have a stand-up. We said that already, Prime Minister Holden. We said that already. My God, you're going to say the same thing again? And Prime Minister Davis, he came and reiterated, "Oh, Haiti needs solutions." Of course, he needs solutions. Of course, the solution is needed in Haiti. That's so obvious, Captain Obvious, duh. You know, my
One
God.
thing that I heard echo right through was, we some of the things that might be said may not be liked. So they were already bracing themselves for what each other was going to say. And some might be offensive, and some people may not like the decisions we have to take. And they were already apologizing for it.
Yeah.
Every single leader, I noticed that was singular across all statements. So,
Yeah. And see why we pine for people like Mia Moore Motley and Ralph Gonzalez. How we pine for those guys who could actually say the thing and actually say the words that need the magic words, the magical incantations that could actually move people to action and stir people to movement. See why we need people like them. They say it like how it is, man. And yes, Ralph Gonzalez is kind of crass, and yes, Mia Moore Motley is kind of empty sometimes, but still, though, they say the things that need to be said. At least more than these fellas just repeat the same thing over and over again. They repeat the same problem. They repeat the same thing over and over again, Kim. What was a free trip to Jamaica to go to a nice hotel in Jamaica? That's all I was for.
I really do hope we see some sort of resolution coming forward. I am still giving them a chance. I'm hopeful, in the sense that perhaps by November this year, when elections are due, some change can be seen, noticed.
Yeah, they got to get on the clock right now, though, because November's right there. They need to get on the clock today and start working today. There's no time to waste. They need to get on it right now, Kim. Right now.
Sure. Boots on the ground.
Or else it's going to be in November. It's going to be mass chaos. People are going to be in the streets. They're going to be angry because they're going to be candidates stood up, and they're not going to be sufficient enough facilities for them to vote, and actually accountability systems in place to ensure that people have a fair vote, and people are going to be angry on the streets. So they could actually make the situation worse if they don't do it right, and they're going to start working right now and put on a map of plan. At least work towards a target. The target is November for the election, but set up a target to get the elections up and running for November. At least that.
Yeah, definitely. Something solid needs to be established.
Now, I know I'm running my mouth and I'm making it sound easier than what it is, right? But still, though, that's the way I see it, because I believe in them. They've done this before, Kim. That's my rant for the night.
Yes, that's your rant.
That's my rant for the night. A rant tonight keeps me healthy, Kim. I feel good. I sleep well at night after I rant,
Oh, right. Other than that, and popular news, everything, all eyes have been on the former American President Donald Trump.
Yes,
and what's been happening with his national security documents and the charges.
Yeah. I believe it's efficient in expedition, though. I mean, to be honest, I believe this is overreaching.
It was a second indictment.
Yes, second indictment. I mean, classified information. Come on, what could he possibly have?
37 federal charges. From the looks of things, it seemed as though he just took, national security documents. From my understanding, a lot of the documents that they have does not really need security clearance, but it does have security clearance.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine, because I don't believe they're going to let things like that get into the president's hand. People have this perception that the president of the United States is this all knowing, all powerful being, and he's not. There are a lot of checks and balances in the United States that one man, it was built so that one man does not become a dictator, like how they started with the American Revolution. It was built that way. It was built that way to have checks and balances. It was built that way so you're going to have a president that could serve a fixed term. It was built that way. It was built that way. And the founding fathers of the United States were very intelligent. They saw this coming to a head the way it is. They saw Donald Trump, and they saw George W. Bush, and they saw Barack Obama years down the road, Kim. They saw them, they could see someone rising up and having that kind of popularity and having that kind of savoir-faire that could actually, swing people into believing that they could be the president for life. They saw it happen. They saw it down the road because they saw it all through Europe. They saw it with Napoleon. They saw it with the British monarchy. They saw it with Spain. They saw it with France. They saw it everywhere. So they saw this happening. So they put in place systems and checks and balances after the American Revolution to ensure that they have a sensible working government that's going to be there for generations to generations come after them. And that's what's needed in Haiti. So it's been done before. The American experiment has been very successful. And regardless of what you say about them, it's been very successful.
But this entire situation here, I know that they're really trying to come out at him because he has intentions of running for elections, right?
Yeah, that's all. It's all a smear.
And it's 37 federal charges against him.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the truth right now, Kim. This will be a hot take tonight for LimeVibe. Donald Trump would be a better president than Joe Biden was. I tell you that much. He'd be a better. Yeah, he'd be a better president. Yep, he would. He would. Anyone would be better than Biden right now.
I believe everyone they probably like what he does governance wise, right? However, the cross statements, the racism and things like that, he would just say, those things that come with his personality of being popular and just giving zingers and saying things like that. That's what he's been all about. Yeah. And I think people got tired of being insulting and telling people like that, not understanding being that your country is a diverse nation. It has changed, it has altered, and how its makeup and cultures of people that the country works on. You have Silicon Valley that has the Bangladeshis and the Indians. You've got many CEOs of companies that do not look like you anymore.
But you want to hear something, Kim? They created him, The U.S. media created Donald Trump. They glorified him in the late 80s, early 90s, the early 80s, or actually the entire 80s and the entire 90s. They glorified Donald Trump as the paragon of American business virtue. They glorified him for being what he was, the crass New Yorker that got things done, the plain speaking New Yorker that put skyscrapers all along the New York skyline. They praise him for that. So now all of a sudden you built him up to what he is, and now you don't like him anymore. They became exactly what you created him to be. He became exactly what you created him, He became the Frankenstein.
Indeed. I don't think America wants to take the credit for that, though. At least in the media terms, they don't,
Media, of course not. Tom Brokaw and those, and these other journalists, Katie Couric and who else? Barbara Walters, they don't want to take credit for that. Wolf Blitzer, they don't want to take credit for creating Donald Trump, but they created him. They made him bigger than what he is, and they let him into the media. The Apprentice show, they let him sink himself into the media. They saw him coming. They created him. Now you don't like him. He's the New Yorker that everyone. He's the prototypical New Yorker, rude, crass, and abrasive, and money hungry, money chasing. He's a prototypical New Yorker. I mean, there's no difference between him and let's say A$AP Rocky. Oh no, not A$AP Rocky. That's who's another prominent New Yorker. Is in contrast. Jay-Z. There's no difference between him and Jay-Z. Dame Dash. Dame Dash is another one. A successful music entrepreneur. There's no difference between Donald Trump and Dame Dash. Yes, one's black and one's white. The same rude, crass, aggressive, in your face demeanor. The same abrasive, forward kind of thinking, forward kind of brash kind of way. That's what they are. That's what a New Yorker is. And you created Donald Trump. You glorified that. Now you don't like him anymore. And it makes me sick that they pull that, it makes me sick.
But do you think this entire thing with the documents taken, he was well aware of it and that he was doing wrong and that he was actually trying to cover it up?
I think afterwards, yeah, of course he knew. Of course he knew. You can't take documents out of your old job after you've been fired. He knows better than that. Would he like someone to do that to him in the Trump organization? They took classified documents that he had, classics, or secret drawings and renderings for his next Skyrise, and took him to his competitor. Would he have liked that? I think is what was he going to do with the information?
Exactly. So, and the thing is, by the time it's found out that it's gone missing, codes and things like that would have to be changed.
Exactly.
Right. And I know that with each president, it's usually changed, it's altered.
Exactly. So my thing is, what are they going to release exactly what he had? Are they going to put that in the media? That would be nice. Because I would want to know exactly what he had. Was it information on his competitors or was it information on himself? That's the key. That's it.
Yeah. And that's something we're not going to get until probably next 30 years.
Yeah.
When
we're not We're not going to see it. And then by the time we see it, we're not going to care anymore either. We're not going to see that. But I
It's
would like
just
to
like
know
the
exactly what it
Gate
is.
scandal, you know.
Yeah,
And
just to create some scandal, some stuff, some fuzzy stuff into the ether, into the air. But they know we're not going to find the details and the contents of what was actually in those classified documents. But yes, the mere fact that we're talking about it on a regular basis is enough to create the buzz and the story. There's something more than what it is. And right now, it's probably nothing like how you say, right now, it's probably nothing, a big nothing burger. But they can't say it's a nothing burger because he's being caught having classified information. Maybe someone's laundry list, maybe somebody's lunch list, or somebody's medication list. Yeah, it could be a whole host of things. Who knows? But because we
and
can't talk about it, we'll have to think that it could be the worst. It could be nuclear codes and secrets about attacks on Iran, and
but
it
it's
leads us to think about it.
classified it, right?
We say,
He went on record as saying that he could have declassified these documents,
yeah, he
and
did. So.
but he said he can't because it's still secret,
Yeah. He's such a fool when he's ready, but even that, he's still better than Joe Biden. I think Americans thought when they got Joe Biden, yeah, they thought when they got President Biden, they thought they were getting Barack Obama again, and it's clearly not. Clearly not. They
But
must have put Kamala Harris in.
there's this whole thing that Barack is still working in the background.
Yeah, you think so?
I mean, I see how things are with Hillary and how the Democratic Party operates, right? There's still, some kind of key connection with each other when it comes to policies. I mean, yes, they've moved on. Bill Clinton has moved on. George Bush has even moved on. But I know that they still have presidential connections and talks when it comes to the governance of their countries.
Yes.
At least that's how I've noticed it. And when you see gatherings around them, they seem very casual and friendly with each other. I know American presidents continue some sort of work outside after they've left office.
Yes.
And I will not doubt that they still have a hand in the political runnings of the Democratic Party as well.
But the media, the Democratic Party are not in Biden's presidency, though. I mean, we would have heard that. We would have heard that he's been having late nights, or Barack Obama's been having late nights in the Oval Office with President Biden. We would have heard that. Yeah, we would have heard that. The media would have been too glad to talk that to help boost Biden's ratings, to be honest with you. Because no.
Maybe it's not out there. Maybe they don't want to put it out. I'm just saying that I believe democratic policies are what's helping this government rule, the American government. So I am sure that they're having some kind of meetings at the senator level, some kind of level. Influence is still there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's not burning the midnight oil in the Oval Office with President Biden, though. He's not doing that. Even though he could, and we would want him to come back and do that, he's not doing that.
What about Kamala Harris taking the reins?
I wouldn't mind that, actually. I would enjoy that. I think it's about time,
But when it came to Hillary, I swear, I honestly thought Hillary had a chance. But it made me feel as though America was not ready to have a female as president.
No, I think, no, here's the thing. America was ready. They wasn't ready for Hillary Clinton. She got a lot of baggage, man. People try to make this thing about her being a woman. No, she had a lot of baggage going back from her husband's administration. All right?
Yeah.
They are feeling Hillary Clinton, man.
But Kamala Harris was running for president, right? But then she took the backseat and said, okay, fine, I will join the Biden ticket.
Yeah. She knows she can win that primary. And she had some flaws herself too, but I think with this vice president role she's been able to fill into that, and we'll be able to see her as a leader and actually see her do things. I think that's going to change her image a lot, because she's definitely not Biden, and people are seeing her as the contrast is not Biden, and she's looking a bit better as we move along. So yeah, I think it's better now. She has more visibility now, because beforehand she was just the black senator from California, the black female senator from California, but now she's Kamala Harris. There's a big difference.
I would really hope so, because to me, I've seen her being more on the diplomatic side of things.
Yeah.
Compared to rulership and laws and change and governance that the people want to see when it comes to their economy. We're seeing what happened with the debt ceiling. The front person, obviously, the Secretary of Finance and things like that. But the president still had to do the statements. I know it's different. But I'm looking at a sense that she's been more on a diplomatic front,
Mhm.
handling things, around the entire world compared to President Biden.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's a traveling woman, man, and they prefer to send her because I don't think President Biden can actually stay up in one of these meetings. I don't think he has the energy to stay up with these international obligations, And it's best to send her if she's going to be competent and capable, and she's going to be able to concentrate and talk to leaders and talk to administrators from around the world and actually bring back the information because there's a lot of that has to be done too, And she may have the energy to do it, so let her do it.
But
The
we're
only-
hearing the
the only
Republican camp, Ron DeSantis is well, he's thrown his
Oh
hat.
yeah, my boy Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis. Put some respect on his name, please, Kim. That's Governor DeSantis. That's Governor DeSantis from Florida. He's our boy. He's my main man on the trigger. He's my main brother. Yes, I am pro DeSantis.
He's not on a favorable side of Florida, especially with what's happening with Disney and
Yeah.
his what he's trying to do when it comes to making books contraband and how you teach your children and things like that. I can see the logic, but I think some parts are a little too far reaching.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what you need, though. I think some of these things are going too far, man. I was watching it was a town council, a council meeting inside the United States. I forgot which state it was, where this father, he read a book that was available to kids and was talking about sex. It was talking about oral sex. It was talking about, sex between two women. It was talking about sex between two men. And he actually started to read the book inside the council meeting. They shut him down. A book that is available to his kids inside their library. He could not read it inside that council meeting because it was too graphic. They shut him down. They say he can't read the book inside the meeting. But this was available to his kids. And he made that point. Say, if it's good for my kids, it should be good for you to hear. My goodness, man.
What my problem, I can understand those books. Those books should not be given to any children. But when it comes to books like To Kill a Mockingbird, we've all read To Kill a Mockingbird, right? And it talks about, history. And why are you banning books that actually are historical in nature? Is it so offensive to those kinds of people that you don't want your children reading it?
Yeah, that was too far. Yeah.
Kill a Mockingbird is part of history, and it's not. It puts it across in a really nice, in a kind manner.
Yeah.
And it's part of 20th century American literature. Why are you hating it?
We may be misconstruing him banning To Kill a Mockingbird, because sometimes we go overboard with these things these politicians say. I mean, just blow it up proportion, like how last year they were saying that President Biden was giving crack pipes. He was actually giving crack pipes one of the congressional bills. He was actually giving crack pipes to crackheads, and they said that was a bill. And it was far from the truth. He was actually giving a relief to people who were addicted to drugs. He wasn't selling crack pipes to them, and that's how they watered it down, And he's giving crack pipes to crackheads. It's just ridiculous. So we gotta be careful when we use these little sound bites from these people,
No, I'm talking about. I mean, the books that are being banned in the sense that literature is being banned. I'm not talking. I can understand those over sexual books, but it's when you pull an entire thing that bans race. Depriving students of an understanding of your historical past in the South,
Denying the opportunity to find out.
When it comes to sexual things, yes, you need to have some sort of consensus there and control.
But that's what they're trying to blur the line. These activists, they're trying to blur the line on race and sex.
Between the LGBTQ people, right? Exactly. They're trying to and it's a dangerous path you're taking.
Of course, but we let it get too far, Kim. We having these conversations about a man can menstruate, Kim. A man can menstruate. Are you out of your mind? How can a man cannot menstruate? I can't believe I'm watching these arguments on YouTube between academics and these activists, and people are actually taking these people seriously. These people are crazy, Kim. I believe they are legitimately crazy. A man cannot menstruate. A man doesn't have a cycle. How does a man have a cycle, Kim? You explain.
That entire argument came up when it came to this whole Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, and she said something basic on the human anatomy when it comes to a female and the definition of a female's body. That is being eroded right now, and you have to understand basic biology compared to sociology, which defines what is gender and sex.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Yes, indeed. When these people are crazy, Kim, they are absolutely nuts. I can't believe I'm seeing these conversations online, and these people are serious.
It
They are
is.
they get seriously triggered by it, Kim. They are seriously triggered when you say that a man can't menstruate and a man can't have a child. They are
Exactly.
triggered by this.
Yes. They see it as or you're being spiteful, but it's basic biology. Did you all not learn these things in high school? But it just goes to how skewed the American society is. And I'm seeing it happening too in Canada, where you're not even allowed to talk about these things with your children. If you don't want your children to learn about these things, you have to be careful, and they even removing children from people's homes.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is where you're affecting family life now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really becoming a dangerous path
You affect
that the world is going. This is truly the part of the world.
exactly.
Exactly.
The part
The part is positive. On the part of stuff. It's
not a
You
part
know-
of my household. The world can go where they want to go, but
Exactly.
me and my household, we will follow the Lord.
So
world-
me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
So me and my household, we will follow the Lord, and I mean that sincerely. They can do whatever they want, and I'll pray for them too.
That's
No,
why, I mean, countries like this, I would stay away. I'm staying in my small island. Even though in all islands they're trying to push it down here to adhere to it in order to access grants, like even the EU.
Oh
You
yeah,
have
there's-
you have to include these things.
because
I see
Vice
the-
President Harris, she came at president of the LGBT agenda as well. She came to the Bahamas to talk to ACARCOM leaders to push the LGBT thing. Boy, it didn't pick up. It did not pick up at all, Kim. And the ACARCOM leaders, they were afraid to even mention that inside the press, even though we caught it at the meetings when she said
Yes.
it. They were afraid to even explore that, and they shouldn't, because it's going to be a death knell for them. And they don't realize that these things are very unpopular in these countries. Leave them alone, If you want to have your allies in place,
Why are you trying to control people and how they view?
exactly.
I see that happening a lot. It's been seeping in through. This month is their Pride Month. And we're seeing, even hotel chains here having the flags and things like that.
Yeah.
Seeing that a lot of they having the parades. I know that they've always had the parades in Trinidad for many, many years. It's quite popular. And I actually have friends that participate in it. I have no problem.
Trinidad is one of the more liberal Caribbean countries, isn't it?
It's been that way a long time, right? There's a part in Port of Spain that is known for it. And
The Sissy boys?
what's that?
Known for the sissy boys.
It's known for that culture. It's known for that lifestyle. And you go on, live your lifestyle as you want, but don't force me to say that I have to participate and I have to say this and I have.
Yeah.
It's like I am not. I'm not doing you any harm by abstaining.
Exactly. And they take it as an offense that we don't like it. They take
Exactly.
it as an offense. I mean, I thought that you had your opinion, I had my opinion. You have your opinion that you feel for it, right?
Free think isn't that part of free speech and free thinking?
Exactly. No, it's only free thinking for them. Only free thinking for them. And that's part of your need. And that's what's creating the backlash against them even more stronger. Because people like being silenced,
Exactly. It's that bullying nature. It's
Exactly.
become bullyish. I have my beliefs. This is how I grew up. This is how I know it.
Yeah.
Whatever you choose to do, fine, go be it. That's I don't really care.
Oh Lord, Kim, you talking about my beard?
What's that?
You say grow a beard? You don't care?
Oh,
I'm
I
going
said
to bed, Kim.
don't
You don't like
care.
my beard? You don't like my beard?
Oh, Yari Camp.
I thought you'd like my beard, but women say they like it. Other women say they like it.
I think our dialects have gotten crossed.
Oh, what did you say? You said beard or what?
No, what I said is like I don't really care what you do. I'm not going to. This is what I believe in.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
Leave me alone in that sense.
I thought you said something about my beard. I was like,
No,
wow. I said I was kind of low, Kim. I said,
Yeah.
wow, how did you get there?
Forgive me if I was not clear enough.
Okay, very good. Okay, I understand. Yeah, leave these people alone, man. We're not into this sissy business, man.
What I'm just concerned about is like you're going to hold nations ransom
Yes.
for grants and
Mhm,
things like that because they have not changed their laws.
mhm.
And we're hearing things like this that I heard someone, a parent, raise a concern that they want to bring it as a part of the curriculum in teaching children this in our primary schools.
Oh, wow.
It is gradually coming. It is gradually entering our Caribbean nations or schools or education systems. But I mean, even when it came to sex, learning about how sex is and how you get pregnant,
Mm.
it was something that I learned in biology,
Yes, indeed.
right?
Now,
That's
here's
in
the thing.
secondary school too, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing though, Kim. I don't mind it being introduced into the schools where people understand what homosexual and lesbian relationships, right? But tell the truth about it, that a man cannot anatomically have a child and he cannot menstruate. Tell the truth about it. Yes, two men can love each other and two women can love each other, but here's what. There's a line that they can't cross. A man cannot turn into a woman cannot turn into a man. There's some biological facts to that. I mean, there are some real biological facts why a man cannot have a child. And you can't go
Exactly.
beyond.
Yes, but I'm thinking that it needs to be said at a certain age. There
Mm.
are certain things that I don't want my child under 11 knowing about.
Absolutely
Right.
not. That's too young. I think
And
anyone under 12 is too young to be talking about sex in any event. Because I don't believe most people under 12, they're not really, a girl under 12 may not even be menstruating, and a boy under 12 may not even be
unless it
seeing
happens
sperm.
in your household, there are instances where girls do start to develop early, at sometimes early as age 9.
Oh, wow, really?
That starts at home. You
Hmm.
know, it's the prerogative of the parents to step in and
Mm.
have these discussions then.
Hmm.
And that's your responsibility.
Yeah,
A
that's true.
responsibility to reproduction, I think, should also fall at parents at their leniency when they feel it's appropriate.
Yeah.
My parents, when I think about it, they spoke to me about it probably at age 14. And at that age, I was probably learning about it in secondary school as part of my science curriculum.
Mhm.
Right. And obviously they teach you responsibility. You know, you have that, you have to have responsible conversations with your children. Leave it to a parent to decide when is appropriate.
Exactly.
They know children, they know how they're going to interpret these messages.
Mhm. There you go, Kim. You're being strong tonight, Kim. Preaching to the choir. Yeah,
But
leave it to the parents, man.
my mom's a teacher, and even and she teaches grade 2, which is around the ages of between 7 to 9.
Hmm.
There are students at that age that actually do come in with knowledge of very mature topics, mature
Yeah.
sensitive,
Yes, yes.
and you have to shield. She has to be a buffer between
Mhm.
the other children, because other children, they're innocent.
Yeah.
They're not exposed to these things at home.
Mhm.
And then some wise crack comes through, because you know his mom and dad probably watching certain movies.
Yeah, you see it all over the place. Yeah. And you'd be surprised what some of these kids talk about, some of the violent things and the sexual things they talk about. I had a friend, she had her son. Her son was only in grade 7. And he used to tell me how the politicians used to come to his grandparents' house where his uncles were, and they would have the money, they would exchange the money and all this kind. I say, how do you know what they're doing? They say, how do you take the bribes and get the bribes to this one and that one, they exchange money and they get this and get that. And he actually was talking this. He actually saw he was explaining this in very good detail. See, people don't realize what they're doing in front of their kids. He explained the bribes in a very candid, a very vivid detail. He explained exactly how the politicians came to the house and they got money and they took money, blah, blah, blah. He went to very great detail.
The thing is, we usually take for granted what children see and hear.
Exactly.
We think that they're not going to understand.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you something. Some things that you would have witnessed as a 7-year-old, you may not put it together until you're probably 14 or 15. And then the understanding will come, hey, that is what was really happening over there. It is memory is a heck of a thing. It comes back to recollection, and you are going to interpret it and remember what it means.
Exactly.
Figure out what it means. Figure out what it means.
Exactly. Oh, this happened to me. My mom was telling me about a situation where she was working with a lady and she explained some sexually explicit stuff that she used to do with her father. And they say, oh, my daddy used to do that with me all the time. She didn't realize that was wrong. And so they had to tell her, no, that was wrong. That was very wrong. And you were actually a victim of incest. And when she found out exactly what happened to her, she nearly flipped out. She freaked out. She couldn't work in that place anymore. She was very ashamed.
Wow. That's really disheartening. That's really
I
sad.
know. To get to 20, 21 years old and don't realize that that's a wrong thing, that's a bad thing, that's very wrong.
Charges need to be laid.
Yeah, but this is years ago though. We weren't really taking that stuff serious. People, we swept that thing under the rug, you know. You know, we go on these islands, we sweep incest and child abuse under the rug. We don't want the adults to get in problems, you know, because the kids are lying and that sort of thing. You know these island people go, and it's serious, you know, it's a sickening thing though, Kim. You know.
It is.
But
But
yeah,
I mean, we really do hope that our freedoms remain. I really do pray for my region's freedom, my country's freedom.
mhm,
Despite whatever lifestyles people may be living, I don't want to bring any children into this world and they're forced to deal with these things.
yes,
As
yes, yes,
parents can really shelter and protect them too,
yes,
because
yes.
exposed to certain things when you send them out to schools,
Mm.
when you send them out there.
What's wrong with telling kids about the truth at an appropriate age? I don't
I
think there's anything wrong with that.
It should be according to when a parent
Parents
sees.
ready. Yeah, yeah. And that's where I agree with you right there. And that's a good note right there, Kim. That's a good note. When the
should-
parents agree that's the case.
My husband and I were talking about homosexuality. We didn't
Mm.
understand what homosexuality was. And his mom, he was relating to me how his mom had to explain to him what really happens in a relationship. But how is that possible? And he
Mm,
was in his late teens, you know.
mm.
I did not understand homosexuality until I was adult.
I can remember as a young man asking one of my mom's friends, I said, "What is a faggot?" I didn't know. I thought a faggot was different from a homo, was different from a sissy.
Yeah,
Really the
those
same thing.
those terms were popular in our culture at a certain
Yeah.
era.
Yeah,
Those it's derogatory to say those things right now.
I know it's derogatory. Yeah.
Don't say those words, but everyone used to just say it, even the SLUT word and
Oh,
H word. It's like it would be called around in school back then, and
yeah.
then it would come to me. It's like your mom heard. I heard that you call so and so that word, and that's not true. Not
These
knowing what
words are open now.
what's
I know
that.
these words are so open right now, you know.
They are, but you know your parents would tell you, hey, don't use those words.
yeah, those are bad words. Yep.
Yeah.
They're so open now in the public though. I mean, you hear the words on a daily basis, especially you know, I never got used to the bitch word. I never got used to that. I don't believe we should be calling women that at all.
I agree with you there. And I'm not for the sissy and the other words either.
Oh,
I just
the sissy
yeah,
one? The lady one.
think of even the other terms I have said no, that is out of my vocabulary.
Yeah, shouldn't call them that. But they don't even want to be called homosexuals anymore. They want to be called non-binary or whatever it is they call them, or these are the pronouns they and him and
Pronouns. That's the thing I'm seeing popular now. Pronouns. We actually have to list our pronouns.
yeah,
He, him, his. So I have to list my pronouns as she, her. I'm a woman.
It's
Miss.
demonic, you know. It's demonic, you know. It's really demonic because only the devil wouldn't really want you to know your name and wouldn't really want you to call you by your name. You know?
You're born to be.
Yeah, exactly. Only a demon wouldn't want you to wouldn't want your name to be known. A demon wants to change your entire name to something that's so obscure that God didn't actually put you on this earth to do. And that's why he wants to change your name. That's why when Jesus went up to the man, they said, "I am Legion." And didn't want you to call his name. The demon didn't want to call the man's real name. I am Legion. I am they and them. Come on, I'm seeing these Bible tropes just play out in daily life all together, every day. I'm seeing these every day on different levels. And you could actually relate to what these people went through back in the day to now. 2,000 years ago when Jesus Christ walked here, you could relate to what happened right now.
Let's just say the word says in this world, not of this world.
Exactly. Amen. 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 I'm good for one thing. I'm good for a nice catchy word at the beginning. I'm good for a frothy rant in between. I'm good for a good Bible chat. Yeah, all through LimeVibe, all through our conversation. I'm good for all of that, Kim. So Kim, that's about it. Any final thoughts, man?
Go with God.
Oh, that's it. Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we will. We will go with God. So that's a good way to end the show. So thank you once again for joining us for another Lime Vibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yori Arman along with my lovely co-host, Ms. Kimberly Ramkalawan. I just want to tell you again, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube and Facebook. And please stay up to date with any notifications that we have with all of our content that we put out. We had a wonderful interview with our C. Allen Johnson on Sunday. It's up on our YouTube page and our Facebook page right now. So please go and watch that. He talks a lot about the future and AI. He talks a lot about cryptocurrency. He's a technology expert. Please go watch that. So please, this is Yori Kemp again from Lime Vibe Live saying good night. And thank you for joining us.
Good night.
Let's get out of here, Kim.